in Grand Theft Auto 5. So throughout this video, you're going to see me just bumping from mansion to mansion, and this should give you a good idea of how amazing the style of homes are in game that we don't have access to buy or purchase. Now, this is just a handful of the mansions that are in the game, but this should give you a good idea of how beautiful they are. All of them are different in their own way, shape, and form. They have different exteriors and different, garages. They have different driveways, different pools and backyards. All of them are unique in their own way, shape, and form, which is really cool, yet none of them are available for us to purchase in online. In fact, in Grand Theft Auto 5, the most they're ever really used is for maybe tiny little cutscenes or mission locations where you're supposed to meet a character. So they're definitely one of the more underutilized places in the game, and today we're going to be looking at why, as I mentioned, the update in December in just a couple of weeks and months would be the perfect opportunity for Rockstar to introduce something like this. Now, before we jump into any of this, I just want to say none of this has been confirmed. The person who got this started was staff member on the GTA forums, Mach1 Bud. Most people consider him a pretty reputable member of the community. He brings up some really good points, which is why I'm actually discussing this. But again, nothing has been confirmed or denied here. So he was responding to a question about the December update, how it will likely be Midnight Club, it'll be a sea-based update. He responded with no. They never mentioned new businesses. They said new properties, not businesses. It won't be Midnight Club or sea-based update. So I think this is before Mach1 Bud knew about Yan's Twitter header. We discussed this in my video earlier in the day in case you missed it. Yan, who is another reputable member, leaker, ex-leaker, I'm not really too sure, changed his header to the I Am Not a Hipster artwork that was released in the DLC in 2014. So a lot of people are assuming that the I Am Not a Hipster update is going to be getting like a rebirth or a part 2 in December. But regardless, that was the first thing he responded to. So then Mach1 Bud mentions this. He says, end of the year updates and year 1, which is 2015. He states introduced yachts. Well, it's yachts, but also a lot more than that. So the Executives and Other Criminals update, which is what he's talking about right there, introduced yachts, the stilt homes, and also the luxury penthouse apartments. So keep that in mind. Year 2, which was import-export in 2016, introduced the 20-car garage showrooms and the 60-car garage slots. And then that brings us to year 3, 2017. So he says, every year they add an extremely expensive property that produces little or zero money. I expect this year to be no different. I don't want to get anyone hyped based on speculation, but I think there's a possibility that once thought was a pipe dream. Based on a variety of factors that I don't want to state right now, I think this update will be the most expensive ever released, with more vehicles than ever before, and one long requested item, ... mansions. So let's get everything else he said out of the way before we move on. He said, seems to me mansions would fit nicely on Maze Bank foreclosures. I mean, half the residents in LS have foreclosure signs out front, and weaponized vehicles mean nothing since we can store them in our regular garages. No need for a special property. And as far as what he thinks the price of these will be, he said $10 to $30 million easily. We'll jump into that a little bit later. And he finishes up by saying, I should also say that based on what I believe the theme of the next update is, mansions make no sense at all, but it's Rockstar, so who knows what they will do. So that's a lot of information right there, but I think it is interesting. Mach1 Bud is completely right about Rockstar adding unnecessary large properties in the last couple December updates. As I mentioned, in 2015, with Executives and Other Criminals, we got yachts, we got the penthouse apartments, we got the stilt homes. 2016, we got the expansion to the CEO offices with the office garage. That was pretty insane. And now, in 2017, if Rockstar are going to continue that trend, what sort of property could they add into the game? The only thing that is really left are big mega homes and mansions. Now, Rockstar did mention on one of their previous newswires that new properties were going to be added into the game via the Maze Bank foreclosure site. And he brings up a good point by saying a lot of the mansions in-game have foreclosure signs in front of their yards. So take a look at this one right here. You can see it says for sale. You can see there's an agent, price reduced. There's even a phone number. If you call it in online, nothing happens though. It just goes to some elevator music. But the fact is, he's right. There are foreclosure signs in front of a ton of the mansions we have in-game right now in online, which is really cool and could be a sign that maybe they are indeed going to be coming to the Maze Bank foreclosure site. Now, let's assume the next theme is about hipsters in some way, shape, or form. I don't even know hipster culture well enough to know whether mansions would or would not work. I know that in game, the hipsters have sort of their area near Mirror Park, where there are some decent sized homes and houses, but they're certainly not giant mansions. Now, even though we're only taking a look at the mansions in Los Santos today, there are other buildings that maybe Rockstar could consider. For example, they could do the beach houses on Vespucci Beach, or they could do some of the other bigger homes near Sandy Shores, Blaine County, and Palito Bay. They're not as vibrant or luxurious, but they would possibly be considered mansions too. Although it would be very unfortunate if Rockstar added those, but didn't include any of the other houses that we're looking at in this video right now. Now, as far as the prices of them go, I see $10 to $30 million being a little expensive. Based off of everything else that Rockstar has added into the game, the most expensive property is the yacht, and you can pretty much max that out to $8 million. I would say the most would probably be $10 million at the high end. Now, of course, that would all depend on the type of properties they're adding. Like, for example, if we're taking a look at some of these super mega homes, then yeah, they'd probably be closer up to the $10 million range. But it also would depend on the types of features that come along with this property as well. One of the biggest bummers about the stilt homes, which is kind of what we thought the mansions were going to be back in 2015, is they were incredibly featureless. For example, a lot of the houses had decks and pools that we couldn't even have access to. We had to go outside in order to access our garage, which was a real bummer. And I think these mansions present an opportunity for Rockstar to add some really cool features into the game. Even if it's just simple features like what we can do on our yacht, sitting on the hot tub, leaning on the rails. I've thought that mansions would be a great opportunity for Rockstar to introduce the addition of maybe pets into the game. Because if they could confine them to the houses, then they wouldn't have to deal with other players having to have them spawn into the world, etc. I know that's a complicated subject, but there's a lot of features Rockstar could do, like minigame, vehicle storage, helicopter storage. Many of these mansions have pools and helipads and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things that I think Rockstar could do here to really make this work. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, there are no other properties left in the game. I mean, we have apartments, we have the regular little homes, we have garages, we have yachts, we have stilt houses. Really, these mansions and the houses on Vespucci Beach are sort of the last frontier as far as non-business properties go. And I really hope Rockstar continues the trend they've done over the past 2 years and what Mach 1 mentioned earlier by doing exactly what hopefully they do, which is adding a non-business-based property into the game. And hopefully that is mansions. Now, once again, the only thing I'm a little bit skeptical on right now is the fact that right now it's looking like there's going to be a Hipster Part 2 update. And again, I don't really know if hipsters live in mansions or if something like that would even make sense. But as Mach 1 also mentioned, it's Rockstar. They don't need to make things make sense for their update. For example, what did the Ruiner 2000 and the Rocket Voltic have anything to do with import-export? Well, it doesn't. But they added it in that update anyways, so it doesn't really matter. So I know that many people have been stating mansions that would have been a great idea for a while now, probably since 2013, 2014, 2015, 16, etc. But it truly is one of the most underutilized properties and things in Grand Theft Auto Online and GTA 5 in general. I mean, think about it. Rockstar had their design team individually craft and build all of those beautiful mansions, and we don't get to utilize them, and that's the most frustrating part. And I've done so many billionaire live streams on my YouTube channel where, you know, we literally role play as being a billionaire, and it is so fun chilling out in all these different mansions. It's really cool, and it's a great experience. So once again, right now, this is pure speculation, and if anything does change as far as, you know, getting a little bit more concrete information on the fact that mansions might exist, or maybe we get another hint or a clue or anything like that, I'll be sure to keep you guys updated, but I really do want to hear from you guys in the comment section down below, getting the discussion going. What do you think of Rockstar adding mansions in the December 2017 update? Do you think it's just a wild wish? Do you think it's actually possible based off of the clues and information we have so far? Let us know in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you did go and enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And also, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.